The Constitution is the most important document in the governance of any country, as it contains the rules and regulations, both legal and non-legal, which ordain, order, regulate and sustain the government of a given nation. The need for the time-to-time amendment of this important document is, however, of great importance. Over the ongoing amendment, the CSOs at a strategic meeting made their positions known.
In civil society, we are worried that women in governance, Nigeria has one of the lowest value in the whole world. The percentage of women in parliament in Nigeria is about 6 to 7%. The average in Africa is over 20%. In Rwanda, it's more than 50%. So Nigeria should be doing things to improve women participation in governance.
The issue of affirmative action is critical. In a patriarchal society like Nigeria, where the men, owing to our history of our country, have a long and a big advantage over women. How do you bring this larger population on the same pedestal with men so that everybody can have the equal plank to talk about the fact that we can see in there and we can all go into the same field? I think it's all about affirmative action.
Affirmative action for women in politics and governance is long overdue. As a country, we are all aware of the historical marginalization of women, which begins in our communities, of course, perpetuated by our school system. We have 14 states in Nigeria having 0 women in parliament. For me, that is the height of embarrassment. You go to an international conference and you make such a presentation, and people begin to look like you're coming from the old stone age. How is it possible in this day and age that in a whole parliament of maybe 30 members or 24 members, there is not one woman in the state that is qualified, to sit side by side men to make laws for the state? It's embarrassing. So the time for affirmative action is now, and there are countries that have used it to their advantage.
At addressing the raised concern before the amendment becomes law, they say advocacy call is really needed.
It is a rejection in the sense that it didn't pass in Senate. It didn't meet the required 2/3 majority. But in terms of simple majority, we had more people voting in favor of 35% affirmative action. And in Senate, it passed by an overwhelming majority. So for me, I think there's a lot to celebrate. CSOs need to engage these people positively at this time and not let the issue slide before we begin to wake up again.
As civil society, we don't make laws, we don't execute laws. What we are known for doing is advocacy and campaigns. So we're going to formulate a policy today, a position today, and we will canvass that position through advocacy and campaigns. And we want Nigerians to join us in that advocacy and campaigns.
There have been at least 10 attempts to make or amend a constitution for Nigeria, starting from 1914 constitution to date. It is important that citizens participate in making and review of the document, but the concern here is that since the amalgamation of the Northern and Southern Protectorates into the territory known as Nigeria in 1914, no constitution has been produced through a participatory process. However, despite the limitation of constitution review, it is a necessary step towards deepening the democracy in the country and expanding the democratic space.